I'm grateful you joined tonight. Right now, as you rest here, your brain is deciding whether to let you enter deep sleep or keep you trapped in lighter stages all night long. You'll discover what invisible barriers block your deepest rest and understand why some nights feel restorative while others leave you exhausted. Welcome to Get Sleepy Science. Wherever you are right now, perhaps lying in your familiar bed, feeling the weight of blankets, noticing the darkness around you, allow yourself to settle into this moment. We'll journey through 100 sleep facts about what stops deep sleep, from the hidden signals your body sends at sunset, to the brain waves that never quite slow down, to the moment your mind finally surrenders to complete restoration. These quiet journeys through sleep science create a community of peaceful minds seeking rest. A gentle subscribe, like, or sharing helps other sleepless souls discover this sanctuary and brings us closer to protect this healing space. One sleepy soul at a time. It means the universe to us. Sink into your favorite resting spot. Allow your muscles to release, each breath growing softer. There's no need to remember these sleep facts or solve your sleep problems tonight. Just notice that warm, drowsy calm washing over you, like gentle ocean waves pulling back from shore, each one drawing you deeper into restful, effortless sleep. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. You're floating where consciousness dims safely into gentle darkness. Let your mind merge with infinite peace. And now we begin. Deep sleep is the most restorative stage your brain can enter. Yet most adults spend less than 2 hours there each night. Scientists call it slow wave sleep, or stage 3 NREM sleep. And it's characterized by delta brainwaves, the slowest, most synchronized electrical patterns your neurons can produce. During these precious minutes, your brainwaves drop below 1 cycle per second, a rhythm so slow it's almost like your mind is breathing. This is when your body releases growth hormone, repairs damaged tissues, consolidates memories from short-term to long-term storage, and clears metabolic waste from brain cells through the glymphatic system. Without sufficient deep sleep, you wake feeling unrefreshed, fog, irritable, as if you've merely rested your eyes rather than truly restored your entire being. The question is, what prevents you from reaching this essential state? Your body follows a 2-process model of sleep regulation discovered by Alexander Borbély in 1982. Still the foundation of modern sleep science. Process S. The homeostatic sleep drive builds pressure for sleep the longer you stay awake, accumulating adenosine in your brain like sand filling an hourglass. Process C. Your circadian rhythm is your internal biological clock that responds to light and darkness, controlled by a tiny cluster of cells in your hypothalamus called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. These 2 processes must align perfectly for deep sleep to occur. When they're out of sync, when your sleep drive is high but your circadian rhythm says it's time to be awake, or vice versa, your brain cannot fully commit to the deepest stages. You hover in lighter sleep, restless and unrestored, caught between 2 conflicting biological commands. Light exposure is perhaps the most substantial external barrier to deep sleep. Yet we're surrounded by it constantly. Your eyes contain specialized photoreceptors called intrinsically photosensitive retinal ganglion cells, discovered in 2002, that detect blue wavelength light and send signals directly to your circadian clock. even brief exposure to light during the evening, from phones, computers, televisions, or bright overhead bulbs, suppresses melatonin production by up to 50%, according to Harvard Medical School's sleep research. Melatonin is not just a sleep-inducing hormone. It's a biological darkness signal that tells every cell in your body that night has arrived. Without adequate melatonin, your brain remains in a state of physiological daytime, unable to transition into the deep restorative stages. Darkness is not optional. It's essential. Temperature regulation is equally critical. And most people sleep in rooms that are too warm. Your core body temperature must drop by about 1 to 2 degrees Fahrenheit to initiate and maintain deep sleep, a process called thermoregulation. This drop happens naturally in the evening as blood vessels in your hands and feet dilate, radiating heat away from your core. But when your bedroom temperature exceeds 68 degrees Fahrenheit, as confirmed by sleep research, your body struggles to offload this heat. You spend the night in lighter sleep stages, tossing and turning, kicking off blankets, unconsciously trying to cool down. The ideal sleep temperature for most adults is between 60 and 67 degrees, cooler than most people realize, cooler than comfort demands during waking hours. Stress and cortisol create a biochemical barrier that's very difficult to shift through willpower alone. When you perceive threat, whether from work deadlines, relationship conflicts, or financial worries, your hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis activates, flooding your bloodstream with cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones are designed to keep you alert and vigilant, the opposite of what sleep requires. Recent sleep medicine research shows that people with chronic stress have measurably reduced slow-wave sleep. Even when they spend 8 hours in bed, their brains never fully disengage from threat monitoring mode. The racing thoughts, the replaying of conversations, the planning and worrying, these aren't just annoying. They're your brain refusing to enter a vulnerable state because it believes danger is near. Caffeine has a half-life of 5 to 6 hours, meaning that an afternoon coffee consumed at 3 p.m. still has half its caffeine circulating in your bloodstream at 9 p.m. This methylxanthine molecule works by blocking adenosine receptors in your brain, the very receptors that accumulate sleep pressure throughout the day. According to current sleep medicine guidelines, even people who claim caffeine doesn't affect them show measurable reductions in deep sleep on polysomnography studies. They fall asleep, but their brain never fully descends into slow wave stages. They spend more time in stage 2 light sleep, drifting near the surface all night. The subjective feeling of sleeping fine masks objective sleep architecture disruption that accumulates over weeks and months. Alcohol is one of the most deceptive sleep disruptors because it initially makes you drowsy. Ethanol enhances GABA, an inhibitory neurotransmitter, creating sedation that feels like the beginning of good sleep. But as your liver metabolizes alcohol through the night, it produces acetaldehyde and triggers a rebound effect of glutamate, an excitatory neurotransmitter. Studies from sleep research societies show that alcohol reduces REM sleep in the first half of the night and suppresses deep sleep throughout. You wake frequently in the second half, often without remembering. Your sleep tracker revealing dozens of micro-awakenings your conscious mind never registers. You sleep, but you don't rest. Your sleep position affects deep sleep quality more than most people realize. particularly through its impact on breathing and spinal alignment. Back sleeping can worsen sleep apnea and snoring by allowing the tongue and soft palate to collapse backward, partially obstructing the airway. Each obstruction triggers a micro-arousal. Your brain briefly lightens sleep to restore breathing. Side sleeping appears to support the brain's waste clearance systems, allowing cerebrospinal fluid to flush metabolic waste more efficiently during deep sleep. Stomach sleeping often creates neck strain and spinal misalignment. The position you choose isn't just about comfort. It's about allowing your body's restoration systems to function optimally while you're unconscious. Inconsistent sleep schedules create a phenomenon called social jet lag, where your biological clock and your social obligations are perpetually misaligned, sleeping until noon on weekends, then forcing yourself awake at 6 a.m. on Monday is equivalent to flying across multiple time zones twice per week. Research shows that people with irregular sleep schedules have noticeably less deep sleep and higher rates of metabolic dysfunction, cardiovascular disease, and mood disorders. Your circadian rhythm craves consistency, a predictable pattern it can anticipate and prepare for. When you constantly shift your schedule, your brain never knows when to fully commit to deep restoration. It hedges, staying partially alert. So yes, multiple barriers can prevent deep sleep, and often they work together, compounding each other's effects. The person who drinks coffee at 4 p.m. looks at screens until midnight, sleeps in a warm room, and has irregular weekend sleep schedules isn't facing one barrier. They're facing 4 or 5 simultaneous obstacles. Each alone might be surmountable, but together they create a pattern of chronic shallow sleep that feels normal after months or years. This is why addressing sleep requires examining your entire 24-hour cycle, not just the hours you spend in bed. Deep sleep is earned through daytime and evening choices, through understanding what your biology needs to fully let go. Noise pollution affects deep sleep even when you don't consciously wake up. Your auditory cortex remains active during sleep, monitoring the environment for potential threats, an evolutionary adaptation that once protected our ancestors from predators. According to environmental health guidelines, exposure to sounds above 40 decibels during sleep increases fragmentation and reduces slow-wave sleep. Traffic, sirens, neighbors, snoring partners. These sounds trigger micro-arousals that your brain doesn't store in conscious memory. You believe you slept through the night uninterrupted, but your sleep tracker and morning exhaustion tell a different story. True silence, or masking with consistent white noise, allows your auditory system to relax its vigilance. Your mattress and pillows create a physical foundation for deep sleep that many people overlook. Pressure points from an unsupportive mattress trigger unconscious position changes throughout the night, each movement briefly lightening sleep. Sleep experts generally recommend replacing mattresses every 7 to 10 years as materials degrade and lose support. Similarly, pillows that don't maintain neutral spinal alignment create muscle tension that prevents full relaxation. The right pillow height varies depending on your sleep position. Side sleepers typically need thicker pillows than back sleepers to maintain proper neck alignment. Your sleeping surface isn't just about comfort. It's about creating conditions where your body can remain still enough, supported enough, to descend into truly deep states. Electronic devices emit blue light, but they also emit something more subtle: psychological stimulation. The content you consume before bed, news, social media, work emails, activates your sympathetic nervous system, triggering emotional and cognitive arousal that persists long after you've put the device down. Brain imaging research shows that evening social media use increases activity in the brain's salience network, the system that detects and responds to emotionally noteworthy information. This activation doesn't immediately disappear when you close your eyes. It gradually fades over 30 to 60 minutes, delaying sleep onset and reducing deep sleep percentage. Your brain needs a buffer zone between stimulation and rest. Exercise timing paradoxically affects deep sleep in opposite ways depending on when you move. Vigorous exercise within 3 hours of bedtime elevates core body temperature, heart rate, and cortisol, all barriers to sleep initiation. But exercise earlier in the day, particularly in the morning or afternoon, can increase deep sleep that night. The mechanism appears to involve adenosine accumulation, increased sleep drive, and enhanced thermoregulation. Your muscles release signaling molecules during exercise that later promote sleep depth. Movement and rest are partners in a daily rhythm, each enabling the other. Meal timing and composition influence deep sleep through their effects on digestion, blood sugar, and neurotransmitter production. Large, high-fat meals within 2 hours of bedtime force your digestive system to work actively while you're trying to sleep, creating internal physiological arousal. Conversely, going to bed very hungry can cause blood sugar drops that trigger cortisol release and nighttime waking. Sleep nutrition research suggests finishing dinner 2 to 3 hours before bed, with a small protein-rich snack if needed. Your gut and brain are in constant communication through the vagus nerve. Digestive distress becomes sleep distress. Medications, both prescription and over-the-counter, frequently disrupt sleep architecture in ways people don't connect. Beta blockers, corticosteroids, some antidepressants, decongestants, and many other common drugs can reduce deep sleep or fragment sleep continuity. Even allergy medications marketed as non-drowsy can affect sleep quality hours after taking them. Clinical sleep medicine guidelines emphasize reviewing all medications with healthcare providers when sleep problems arise. The pill you take for one condition might inadvertently create another problem. Your body is an interconnected system where interventions in one area ripple through everything else, including sleep. Mental health conditions create some of the most persistent barriers to deep sleep, with bidirectional relationships that create difficult cycles. Depression typically reduces deep sleep and increases early morning awakening. Anxiety prolongs sleep latency and increases nighttime vigilance. PTSD fragments sleep with intrusive memories and hyperarousal. Mental health research shows that improving sleep often improves mental health symptoms, and treating mental health conditions often improves sleep. The two are so intertwined that clinicians now view them as inseparable. Your mood and your sleep quality rise and fall together. Age naturally reduces deep sleep, though not as sharply as many people assume. Deep sleep percentage peaks in childhood and adolescence, then gradually declines through adulthood. By age 60, according to lifespan sleep studies, deep sleep comprises only 10 to 15% of total sleep, compared to 20 to 25% in young adults. This isn't pathological. It's a normal aging process related to changes in brain structure and neurochemistry. However, the decline is gradual and variable. Some 70-year-olds have more deep sleep than some 30-year-olds, suggesting that lifestyle factors remain influential even as biology shifts with age. Sleep disorders like sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, and periodic limb movement disorder create involuntary barriers beyond conscious control. Obstructive sleep apnea affects over 30% of adults according to current prevalence data, causing repeated breathing cessations that fragment sleep and prevent deep stages. Many people have these conditions without knowing it, attributing their fatigue to stress or aging rather than a treatable medical problem. Sleep studies can reveal these hidden disruptors, opening pathways to treatment through CPAP machines, medications, or other interventions. Sometimes the barrier isn't behavior or environment. It's an undiagnosed medical condition requiring professional help. Hormonal changes throughout life create shifting sleep challenges, particularly for women navigating reproductive transitions. Pregnancy brings physical discomfort, frequent urination, and anxiety that fragment sleep. Menstruation can trigger insomnia in the luteal phase when progesterone drops. Menopause often involves hot flashes that fragment sleep and reduce deep sleep percentage. Up to 60% of menopausal women experience notable sleep disturbances. These aren't weaknesses or failures. They're biological realities that require acknowledgement and adaptation, sometimes including hormone therapy, cooling strategies, or adjusted sleep schedules. Your sleep needs and capabilities change across your lifetime, requiring flexible, compassionate responses rather than rigid expectations of what sleep should look like. Napping affects nighttime deep sleep depending on timing, duration, and individual sleep needs. Short naps of 20 to 30 minutes in the early afternoon can reduce homeostatic sleep pressure slightly without affecting nighttime sleep for most people. But long naps after 3 p.m. or naps exceeding 60 minutes can reduce deep sleep that night by partially satisfying your sleep drive. Fatigue management research shows that strategic napping improves alertness without harming nighttime sleep, but only when carefully timed and limited in duration. Chronic pain creates a vicious cycle where pain disrupts sleep and poor sleep lowers pain thresholds, making pain feel worse. Clinical pain guidelines emphasize that addressing sleep is essential for pain management. Even non-painful conditions like allergies, acid reflux, or frequent urination fragment sleep and prevent deep stages. Your body cannot fully relax into restoration when it's managing active symptoms. Symptom management becomes sleep management, and sleep management reduces symptom severity. Genetic variations influence how much deep sleep you need and how easily you attain it. Twin studies show that sleep architecture has a heritability of approximately 40%, meaning genetics account for nearly half the individual variation in deep sleep. Some people naturally generate more slow-wave sleep with less effort. Others require more careful sleep hygiene to achieve the same depth. This isn't fair, but understanding it reduces self-blame. Environmental toxins and air quality affect sleep in ways that are often invisible. Poor indoor air quality from dust, mold, volatile organic compounds from furniture, or outdoor pollution can trigger inflammatory responses that disrupt sleep. Indoor air quality standards note that proper ventilation and air filtration improve sleep outcomes. Opening a window, using an air purifier, or removing synthetic fragrances from the bedroom can reduce inflammatory burden and allow deeper rest. These observations reveal that barriers to deep sleep are multiple, interconnected, and often cumulative. Light, temperature, stress, substances, schedules, noise, physical discomfort, psychological arousal, medical conditions, and environmental factors all contribute. Rarely is there a single cause or simple solution, but understanding the landscape of possibilities allows you to identify which barriers affect you most. Knowledge transforms a mysterious problem into a solvable puzzle, one small adjustment at a time. Take a deep breath and feel this moment. Every cell in your body is designed for restoration, for repair, for renewal. Your heart has been beating steadily since before you were born, never resting, always working to nourish you. Feel yourself carrying the gift of a body that wants to heal, that knows how to heal, if given the chance. As you breathe out slowly, appreciate each tiny part of yourself that works in silence. Trillions of cells cooperating, coordinating, creating the experience of being you. Notice the gentle sensations on your skin, in your muscles, along your spine, the subtle heaviness, the growing warmth, the softening edges. You are a complete system, diverse, self-balancing, quietly intelligent. Now we continue. Adenosine is the molecular sleep signal that builds throughout your waking hours, binding to receptors in your brain and creating increasing pressure to sleep. Every cell in your body produces adenosine as a byproduct of energy consumption. The more you think, move, and metabolize, the more adenosine accumulates. By evening, adenosine levels are high enough to trigger sleepiness, but only if nothing blocks the receptors. Caffeine, structurally similar to adenosine, fits into the same receptors like a key that doesn't turn the lock. It doesn't reduce adenosine. It just prevents you from feeling its effects. Neuroscience research shows this blockade can persist for 8 to 10 hours in some individuals. Melatonin serves as your body's biological darkness signal, secreted by the pineal gland in response to decreasing light. Production typically begins around 9 p.m. in most adults, peaks between 2 to 4 a.m., then gradually declines toward morning. But melatonin doesn't cause sleep directly. It opens a sleep gate, making sleep possible by lowering core body temperature and reducing alertness. Chronobiology research shows that melatonin supplements can help with timing circadian rhythm, but don't necessarily deepen sleep. The hormone signals when sleep should occur, but it doesn't guarantee depth or quality. Darkness is the natural trigger, not pills. Cortisol, often called the stress hormone, follows a natural daily rhythm that's essential for healthy wakefulness and sleep. Levels should be highest in the early morning, helping you wake and feel alert, then gradually decline throughout the day, reaching their lowest point around midnight. But chronic stress disrupts this pattern, keeping cortisol elevated into the evening when it should be dropping. Research using 24-hour cortisol monitoring shows that people with flattened cortisol curves, elevated at night, insufficient rise in morning, have measurably reduced deep sleep and increased health risks over time. Orexin, also called hypocretin, is a wake-promoting neuropeptide that keeps you conscious and alert during the day. Neurons in your lateral hypothalamus release orexin to stimulate arousal, attention, and energy expenditure. People with narcolepsy have damaged orexin neurons, causing sudden transitions into sleep. Interestingly, orexin activity normally decreases during sleep, but in people with insomnia, levels remain higher than they should be. A newer class of sleep medications called orexin receptor antagonists, approved by the FDA in recent years, work by blocking these wake signals, allowing sleep to occur more naturally than older sedative approaches. GAB, or gamma-aminobutyric acid, is the brain's primary inhibitory neurotransmitter, essentially a calm-down signal that reduces neuronal excitability. During deep sleep, GABA activity increases in wake-promoting regions, silencing the neurons that keep you alert. Many sleep medications work by enhancing GABA signaling. Benzodiazepines, Z-drugs, and alcohol all amplify GABA effects. But there's a crucial difference between natural GABA sleep and drug-induced sedation. Natural deep sleep involves coordinated patterns across multiple brain regions. Medication-induced sleep often lacks this organization, creating unconsciousness without genuine restoration. According to sleep neuroscience research, serotonin plays a complex role in sleep, both promoting wakefulness during the day and contributing to sleep onset at night. The neurotransmitter is synthesized from tryptophan, an amino acid found in turkey, dairy, nuts, and seeds, which is why some people believe these foods promote sleep. But the relationship is more nuanced. Serotonin activity in the RAFA nuclei promotes wakefulness, while serotonin serves as a precursor to melatonin. Evening carbohydrates help tryptophan cross the blood-brain barrier more effectively, potentially supporting melatonin synthesis. Your diet affects your neurochemistry more directly than most people realize. Histamine is a wake-promoting neurotransmitter released by neurons in your hypothalamus, helping maintain alertness throughout the day. Antihistamine medications cause drowsiness precisely because they block histamine signaling in the brain, reducing arousal. This is why first-generation antihistamines, like diphenhydramine, appear in over-the-counter sleep aids. However, tolerance develops quickly, and these medications suppress REM sleep and can create next-day grogginess. Sleep pharmacology research suggests these drugs create sedation, not natural sleep architecture. They silence alertness without necessarily promoting restoration. Dopamine, the motivation and reward neurotransmitter, should naturally decrease in the evening to allow sleep onset. But modern life, bright screens, social media notifications, evening entertainment, provides constant dopamine hits that keep the reward system activated. Brain imaging research shows that people who use devices before bed have elevated dopamine activity in reward centers during the first sleep cycle, correlating with reduced deep sleep. Your brain needs a gradual wind down, not stimulation followed by sudden darkness. Norepinephrine, released by the locus coeruleus in your brainstem, promotes alertness and vigilance, and it must be quiet for deep sleep to occur. During slow-wave sleep, locus coeruleus activity drops to its lowest levels, but in people with anxiety, SDD, or chronic stress, this region remains more active than it should be, maintaining a state of hypervigilance that prevents full relaxation. The brain stays partially alert, scanning for threats, never fully trusting that it's safe to become completely unconscious. Acetylcholine promotes both REM sleep and wakefulness, but not deep sleep. In fact, high acetylcholine prevents slow-wave sleep. During deep sleep, acetylcholine levels drop considerably. Some medications for Alzheimer's disease boost acetylcholine to improve memory and cognition, but they can also fragment sleep as an unintended consequence. Neuropharmacology research notes that the timing of these medications matters greatly. Evening doses disrupt sleep architecture, while morning doses avoid this problem. Growth hormone surges during deep sleep, particularly in the first half of the night when slow-wave sleep is most abundant. This hormone doesn't just promote childhood growth. It's essential throughout life for tissue repair, muscle synthesis, immune function, and metabolic health. Reduced deep sleep means reduced growth hormone secretion, contributing to slower recovery from exercise, increased fat accumulation, and accelerated aging. Deep sleep is when your body literally rebuilds itself, cell by cell. Your immune system depends on deep sleep to function optimally. During slow-wave sleep, your body produces and distributes cytokines, proteins that fight infection and inflammation. Sleep research shows that even short periods of reduced deep sleep can decrease T-cell activity and increase inflammatory markers. Chronic sleep disruption increases infection risk and may reduce vaccine effectiveness. Sleep isn't rest from life. It's active biological work, essential for survival. The glymphatic system, discovered in 2012 and intensively studied since, clears metabolic waste from your brain during deep sleep. Cerebrospinal fluid flows through spaces around blood vessels, flushing out toxic proteins like beta amyloid and tau that accumulate during waking hours. This system operates primarily during slow-wave sleep, when brain cells actually shrink slightly, creating more space for fluid flow. Chronic deep sleep reduction may contribute to neurodegenerative disease risk. Memory consolidation happens preferentially during deep sleep. When your hippocampus transfers information to the neocortex for long-term storage, without sufficient slow-wave sleep, newly learned information doesn't integrate properly into existing knowledge networks. Learning and memory research shows that people acquiring new skills or information need adequate deep sleep that night for optimal retention. What you learn during the day becomes part of you during the night. This evidence reveals that deep sleep isn't passive unconsciousness. It's active restoration, involving precise neurochemical orchestration. Dozens of neurotransmitters, hormones, and cellular processes must coordinate perfectly. When even one system malfunctions, too much orexin, too little GABA, elevated cortisol, insufficient adenosine signaling, the entire architecture becomes fragile. Your brain is an orchestra that must play together. One instrument out of tune disrupts the whole symphony, but understanding the players helps you identify which needs adjustment. You're still here, still awake, still learning about what keeps you from the rest you need. Take a slow breath. Notice how your body feels a little heavier now, your thoughts a little slower, as if the information itself is beginning to relax you. We're exploring sleep together, you and I, and everyone listening in the quiet dark. There's no rush, no pressure to remember everything, just the gentle momentum of curiosity carrying us forward, toward understanding, toward rest, let's continue drifting. Your circadian rhythm is controlled by approximately 20,000 neurons in the suprachiasmatic nucleus, a structure about the size of a grain of rice located above where your optic nerves cross. These cells contain clock genes, actual genetic sequences called period, cryptochrome, BMRL1, and clock, that create self-sustaining 24-hour oscillations even in complete isolation. In darkness without any time cues, your natural circadian period runs slightly longer than 24 hours, typically around 24.2 hours. Light exposure each morning resets this clock, synchronizing your biology with Earth's rotation. Without this daily reset, you would slowly drift out of phase with the world. Light acts as the primary Zeitgeber, German for time giver, that synchronizes your internal clock with the external environment. But not all light is equally effective. Blue wavelengths between 460 to 480 nanometers are most potent at suppressing melatonin and shifting circadian phase. Morning light advances your rhythm, making you naturally sleepier earlier. Evening light delays your rhythm, pushing sleep later. Circadian biology research shows that just 30 minutes of bright outdoor light in the morning can improve evening sleep onset and increase deep sleep percentage. Sunlight is medicine, free and abundant. Shift work creates substantial circadian disruption with measurable health effects. When you force yourself to work at night and sleep during the day, you're asking your biology to operate against hundreds of thousands of years of evolutionary programming. Long-term studies show that extended shift work correlates with higher rates of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, depression, and certain health conditions. Your genes expect darkness to mean sleep and light to mean activity. Working against this expectation has consequences that accumulate over time. The challenge isn't willpower or discipline. It's the fundamental mismatch between modern schedules and ancient biology. Teenagers experience a natural circadian delay during puberty, making them biologically programmed to sleep later and wake later. This isn't laziness or poor discipline. It's neurobiology. Policy statements from pediatric organizations recommend that middle and high schools start no earlier than 8:30 a.m. to align with adolescent sleep biology. Yet most schools start earlier, creating chronic sleep deprivation during a critical developmental period. Forcing early wake times doesn't change circadian biology. It just creates sleep debt and reduces deep sleep when teenagers need it most for brain maturation. Jet lag demonstrates how powerfully circadian rhythms resist rapid change. When you fly across time zones, your suprachiasmatic nucleus remains synchronized to your origin time zone for days. Your clock genes need repeated light exposure at the new local time to gradually shift their rhythm. Flying east is typically harder than flying west because it requires advancing your rhythm, going to bed before you're sleepy, which is more difficult than delaying it. Travel medicine research suggests it takes roughly 1 day per time zone to fully adjust. Social jet lag affects people who maintain different sleep schedules on workdays versus free days. Sleeping until noon on weekends, after waking at 6 a.m. on weekdays, creates the equivalent of traveling 4 to 6 time zones twice per week. Chronobiology studies show social jet lag correlates with obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and depression. Similar consequences to actual jet lag. Consistency, even imperfect consistency. serves your biology better than weekend recovery attempts. Chronotype describes your natural preference for sleep timing. Whether you're a morning lark, night owl, or somewhere between, this preference has genetic components, with variants in clock genes influencing whether your natural rhythm runs earlier or later. Society favors morning types, creating a form of bias against late chronotypes. Late-type individuals, forced into early schedules, accumulate chronic sleep debt and reduced deep sleep. Chronotype research suggests flexible work schedules improve health outcomes for late-type individuals. Daylight saving time creates a societal circadian disruption twice yearly, with measurable health consequences. The Monday after spring forward sees increased heart attacks, strokes, and traffic accidents, according to multiple epidemiological studies. The evening light extension delays circadian rhythm, reducing sleep duration and deep sleep percentage for weeks afterward. Countries that have eliminated daylight saving time show improved population sleep health. The hour we gain or lose is less impactful than the disruption to circadian stability. Indoor living disconnects us from natural light, dark cycles that our ancestors experienced. Before electricity, humans received thousands of lux of light during the day and complete darkness at night. Now we get maybe 100 to 300 lux indoors during the day and artificial light at night. This compressed range confuses circadian systems. Research shows that camping trips with no artificial light reset circadian rhythms within days, improving sleep quality and deep sleep percentage. Halfway through our journey, the answer is emerging. Your circadian rhythm must align with your sleep attempts for deep sleep to occur. You can have high sleep pressure from adenosine accumulation. But if your biological clock believes it's time for activity, your brain will not commit to deep restoration. Timing matters as much as duration. You cannot simply decide to sleep deeply. You must work with your biology's expectations, honoring the ancient rhythms encoded in your genes. Let's pause here. Halfway through this journey, breathe slowly and notice where you are in time. This moment, right now, exists only once. Your breath flowing in, flowing out, is unique in the universe. No one else is breathing exactly this breath in, exactly this body. While the vast world continues to spin, expand, change outside you, this second you're experiencing is yours alone. Cherish the present moment. Notice how time feels different now than it did when we began. Slower, perhaps. Softer. The boundaries between thoughts becoming less distinct. Your time is unique in the universe, unfolding at its own pace, requiring nothing from you except permission to flow. Let each breath guide you deeper into now, and we continue drifting. Physical activity is one of the most effective deep sleep enhancers available. Yet timing and intensity matter considerably. Moderate aerobic exercise, walking, cycling, swimming, can increase slow-wave sleep duration, with effects varying based on intensity, timing, and individual factors. The benefit is dose-dependent. Regular exercise generally means better deep sleep, up to a point. But intense exercise within 3 hours of bedtime can temporarily elevate cortisol and core temperature, delaying sleep onset. The ideal timing appears to be morning or afternoon, allowing enough time for the body's temperature to cool and stress hormones to normalize before attempting sleep. Sedentary behavior reduces deep sleep, independent of formal exercise. People who sit for more than 8 hours daily have reduced slow-wave sleep compared to those who move regularly throughout the day. Even if they don't do structured workouts, the mechanism appears related to metabolic rate, adenosine accumulation, and circadian rhythm reinforcement. Movement signals to your body that it's daytime and activity time. Stillness suggests rest time. Research on active workstations shows that even small amounts of movement, standing, walking breaks, fidgeting, improve evening sleep architecture. Your body is designed for motion, and sleep quality reflects this need. Diet composition affects sleep through multiple pathways: blood sugar regulation, neurotransmitter synthesis, inflammation, and digestive demands. High glycemic diets cause blood sugar spikes and crashes that can trigger cortisol release during the night. Fragmenting sleep. Low magnesium and vitamin D intake correlate with reduced deep sleep. High-fat meals delay gastric emptying and can cause reflux. The Mediterranean diet pattern: whole grains, vegetables, fish, olive oil, moderate wine, correlates with better sleep quality in numerous nutrition studies. What you eat doesn't just fuel waking life. It shapes nighttime restoration. Alcohol's sleep disruption extends beyond the metabolic rebound effect mentioned earlier. Ethanol also suppresses REM sleep in the first half of the night, disrupts breathing patterns in people prone to sleep apnea, increases urination frequency, and causes dehydration that can trigger nighttime waking. Regular alcohol use changes GABA receptor sensitivity, requiring increasing amounts to achieve the same sedative effect, a form of tolerance that can lead to dependence. Longitudinal sleep studies show that even moderate drinking, 2 drinks per evening, measurably reduces deep sleep percentage and sleep efficiency over time. Nicotine is a stimulant that increases heart rate, blood pressure, and alertness, all incompatible with deep sleep initiation. Smokers typically have longer sleep latency, more fragmented sleep, and reduced slow-wave sleep compared to non-smokers. But nicotine's effects are complicated by withdrawal. Heavy smokers often wake in early morning when nicotine levels drop, creating middle-of-the-night awakenings. Sleep is one of many compelling reasons to quit smoking, with sleep quality typically improving within weeks of cessation, according to smoking cessation outcome data. Cannabis affects sleep in complex ways that researchers are still unraveling. THC appears to decrease sleep latency, helping people fall asleep faster, and may increase deep sleep in the short term. But regular use can suppress REM sleep, create tolerance requiring higher doses, and cause withdrawal-related insomnia when discontinued. CBD, the non-psychoactive cannabinoid, may reduce anxiety and improve sleep through different mechanisms. Cannabis and sleep research suggests occasional use may help sleep, but daily use often creates dependency and reduces natural sleep architecture over time. Bedroom environment extends beyond temperature and light to include sound, air quality, electromagnetic fields, and even color. Cool-toned colors, blues, greens, are associated with greater subjective relaxation than warm tones. Reds, oranges. Removing electronics reduces electromagnetic field exposure and eliminates standby light from devices. Plants can improve air quality and humidity. Bedroom environment optimization guidelines emphasize creating a space dedicated solely to sleep and intimacy, not work, entertainment, or worry. Bedtime routines signal your brain that sleep is approaching, creating psychological and physiological preparation. A consistent sequence: dimming lights, brushing teeth, reading, meditation, becomes a conditioned stimulus that triggers relaxation responses. Children benefit enormously from bedtime routines, but adults need them equally. Behavioral sleep medicine research shows that adults who maintain consistent pre-sleep routines fall asleep faster and have more stable sleep architecture. Routine creates safety through predictability. Sleep restriction therapy, paradoxically, can help chronic insomniacs by consolidating fragmented sleep into fewer, deeper hours. By limiting time in bed to match actual sleep time, then gradually extending as efficiency improves, people strengthen the association between bed and sleep. This approach increases sleep pressure and deepens sleep architecture. However, it requires clinical guidance and careful monitoring. Insomnia treatment programs report 70 to 80% success rates with this cognitive behavioral approach, superior to medication alone. Worry and rumination are perhaps the most common psychological barriers to deep sleep. Your brain enters problem-solving mode, rehearsing conversations, planning solutions, reviewing regrets. Anything except resting. Cognitive techniques like scheduled worry time earlier in the evening, writing down concerns in a journal before bed, or using thought-stopping techniques can help contain this mental activity. Mindfulness-based therapy for insomnia shows that observing thoughts without engaging them, witnessing rather than wrestling, reduces nighttime cognitive arousal. Sleep anxiety creates a self-fulfilling cycle where worrying about not sleeping prevents sleep, which increases anxiety about sleeping the next night. Performance anxiety about sleep is common in people with insomnia, who begin dreading bedtime rather than welcoming it. Paradoxical intention, trying to stay awake rather than trying to sleep, can break this cycle by removing performance pressure. Sleep disorder clinics emphasize that sleep cannot be forced, only allowed. Partners affect each other's sleep through movement, sounds, temperature preferences, and schedule differences. Snoring is the most obvious disruptor, but even subtle movements can trigger micro-arousals. Some couples sleep better together due to feelings of safety and intimacy. Others sleep better apart but feel guilty about it. Couples sleep research suggests that sleep quality should take precedence over cultural expectations about shared beds. Children and pets disrupt parental sleep in ways that can persist for years. Newborns fragment sleep considerably, reducing deep sleep to minimal levels during the early months. As children age, nighttime needs decrease, but may continue disrupting sleep through illness, nightmares, or simply wanting proximity. Pet owners often underestimate how much their animals disturb their sleep. Sleep trackers reveal frequent awakenings owners don't consciously remember. Financial stress correlates strongly with reduced deep sleep, independent of other factors. Worries about debt, job security, or meeting basic needs activate the threat response system, maintaining vigilance that prevents full relaxation. Economic stability affects sleep health as powerfully as diet or exercise. Stress surveys show financial concerns are among the top sleep disruptors. reported across all age groups and demographics. We now understand that barriers to deep sleep encompass biology, behavior, environment, psychology, relationships, and socioeconomic factors. They're rarely purely physical or purely mental. They're biopsychosocial, affecting whole persons in complex contexts. A reductionist approach that addresses only one barrier often fails. Comprehensive sleep improvement requires examining your entire life ecosystem, identifying multiple points of intervention, and making coordinated changes that work together synergistically. Breathing patterns during sleep directly affect sleep depth and quality. Healthy sleep breathing is slow, regular, and primarily nasal. Mouth breathing during sleep often indicates airway obstruction or chronic congestion, and correlates with lighter, more fragmented sleep. Deliberate breathwork before bed. Slow breathing at 4 to 6 breaths per minute activates the parasympathetic nervous system, lowering heart rate and preparing the body for sleep. Sleep breathing research shows that people who practice evening breathwork for 10 minutes have measurably deeper sleep and fewer nighttime awakenings. Your breath is both a reflection of your nervous system state and a tool to change it. Sleep position affects not just comfort, but also waist clearance and breathing quality. Side sleeping appears to support the brain's glymphatic system more effectively than back or stomach sleeping. According to neuroimaging research, the position allows cerebrospinal fluid to flow more efficiently through waist clearance pathways during deep sleep, flushing out metabolic waste that accumulates during waking hours. Your body may naturally shift positions during the night to balance various needs: circulation, comfort, waist clearance, and breathing. Allowing natural movement rather than forcing a single position all night may be ideal. White noise, pink noise, and brown noise can mask environmental sounds and create a consistent auditory environment that supports deeper sleep. Pink noise, lower frequency than white noise, similar to steady rainfall, may enhance slow-wave sleep according to recent research. The steady sound provides a buffer against sudden noises that would otherwise cause micro-arousals. For some people, complete silence is ideal. For others, living in urban environments or with noisy neighbors, engineered sound provides acoustic refuge. Seasonal changes affect sleep needs and architecture, with many people naturally requiring more sleep during winter months when daylight is scarce. This isn't laziness. It's biology responding to photoperiod. Northern populations with extreme seasonal light variation show measurable shifts in sleep duration and timing across the year. Seasonal affective disorder disrupts this natural adjustment, creating misalignment between sleep drive and available light. Light therapy in winter can help maintain healthier circadian rhythms and preserve deep sleep percentage during short day months. Mindfulness meditation practice improves sleep quality through multiple mechanisms: reducing cognitive arousal, decreasing inflammatory markers, enhancing emotional regulation, and increasing body awareness. Research shows that regular mindfulness practice increases deep sleep percentage and reduces insomnia severity. The practice teaches the fundamental skill of allowing, rather than controlling, precisely what sleep requires. You cannot force yourself to sleep, but you can create conditions where sleep naturally arises. Progressive muscle relaxation, systematically tensing and releasing muscle groups from toes to head, reduces physiological arousal, and helps transition from wakefulness to sleep. The technique was developed in the 1930s and remains evidence-based for sleep disorders. By deliberately creating tension, then releasing it, you become aware of what relaxation feels like, and you give your nervous system permission to let go. Behavioral sleep medicine programs include progressive muscle relaxation as a core component of insomnia treatment. Gratitude practices before bed shift attention from problems to appreciation, from threat to safety, from what's missing to what's present. Writing 3 specific things you're grateful for each evening activates reward circuits and reduces amygdala reactivity. Research shows that consistent gratitude journaling improves sleep quality within 2 weeks, increases deep sleep percentage, and reduces the time needed to fall asleep. Gratitude isn't just positive thinking. It's neurological reorientation towards safety. Cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, CBTI, is considered the first-line treatment for chronic sleep problems. More effective long-term than medication. The therapy addresses thoughts, behaviors, and environments that perpetuate sleep difficulties through structured techniques. Sleep restriction, stimulus control, cognitive restructuring, and relaxation training. Clinical practice guidelines strongly recommend CBTI before pharmacological interventions for chronic insomnia. Most people can access it through apps, books, or clinicians. Sleep tracking can help identify patterns and barriers, but it can also create orthosomnia, anxiety about achieving perfect sleep metrics that paradoxically worsen sleep. Some people become so focused on optimizing their sleep data that they create performance anxiety. Trackers are tools for awareness, not judgment. Sleep technology research suggests using trackers to identify broad patterns rather than obsessing over nightly variations. Sleep quality is a trend, not a test. Understanding teaches us that deep sleep barriers are interconnected systems, not isolated problems. Your evening light exposure affects melatonin, which affects temperature regulation, which affects sleep onset timing, which affects sleep pressure, which affects depth. One change creates ripple effects through everything else. This complexity is actually hopeful. It means multiple entry points for intervention exist. You can improve deep sleep by addressing any number of barriers. Small, consistent changes accumulate into meaningful restoration. You might be feeling tired now. That's perfectly natural, perfectly welcome. Breathe slowly and feel the cycles all around you. Your breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. A small cycle within the vast universe. Day becomes night, becomes day, in an endless rhythm. Seasons turn. The moon waxes and wanes. Everything moves in patterns, in repetitions, in eternal return. Like your breath, like planets silently rotating in their orbits. You too are part of these patterns. There's nothing to hold on to, nothing to force or fix or figure out. Let everything unfold in its perfect order, its natural timing, unhurried, unresisting, simply existing within the flow of all things. The universe breathes, and you breathe with it. We're almost there now, just a little further. Deep sleep is not a destination you arrive at through effort. It's a state you allow through surrender. Every technique, every optimization, every environmental adjustment, they all serve one purpose: removing barriers so sleep can naturally emerge. You cannot create deep sleep by trying harder. You can only eliminate what prevents it. This is a fundamentally different approach than most goals in life, where persistence and effort lead to achievement. Sleep requires the opposite: release, acceptance, letting go. Your body knows how to sleep. Every cell carries instructions refined through millions of years of evolution. The architecture is built in: circadian rhythms, adenosine accumulation, temperature regulation, neurochemical coordination. Nothing is broken or missing. The barriers are largely modern additions: artificial light, irregular schedules, chronic stress, stimulating substances. Removing these artificial obstacles allows ancient systems to function as they're designed to. You're not learning something new, you're remembering something old. Trust is essential for deep sleep. Trust that you're safe enough to become completely unconscious, vulnerably, undefended. Many sleep problems reflect a nervous system that doesn't feel safe, that maintains vigilance against perceived threats. Cultivating genuine safety, physical, emotional, relational, financial, supports sleep more deeply than any sleep hygiene technique. Therapy, financial planning, relationship repair, trauma healing. These aren't separate from sleep health. They're foundational to it. Sleep reflects your overall sense of safety in the world. Perfectionism about sleep creates the very tension that prevents it. Demanding 8 hours of perfect sleep with specific percentages of each stage creates performance pressure incompatible with relaxation. Some nights you'll sleep deeply. Some nights you won't. This variation is normal, human, acceptable. What matters is the pattern over weeks and months, not individual nights. Compassion toward yourself about sleep is more valuable than rigid adherence to ideal conditions. Deep sleep percentage naturally varies based on numerous factors: recent stress, physical activity, illness, where you are in your menstrual cycle, room temperature, ambient noise. Expecting consistency night after night sets you up for frustration. Your body adjusts sleep architecture based on current needs. Some nights prioritize deep sleep for physical recovery. Some nights prioritize REM sleep for emotional processing. Trust your biology to allocate resources appropriately rather than demanding specific metrics. Age changes sleep, but aging doesn't have to mean terrible sleep. While deep sleep percentage decreases with age, many older adults sleep well by adjusting expectations and routines, accepting that you might need earlier bedtimes, tolerating more nighttime awakenings, napping when needed. These adaptations honor changing biology rather than fighting it. Resistance creates suffering. Acceptance creates peace. Sleep changes across your lifespan, requiring flexibility rather than rigidity. Sometimes the barrier to deep sleep is simply not needing as much sleep as you think. Individual sleep needs vary widely. Some people genuinely thrive on 6 hours, while others need 9. Forcing yourself to stay in bed for 8 hours when you only need 7 creates frustration and associates bed with wakefulness. Sleep restriction therapy works partly by matching time in bed to actual sleep need, increasing efficiency and depth. Meaning and purpose affect sleep quality through their effects on stress, worry, and life satisfaction. People who report a strong sense of life purpose and meaningful daily activities tend to sleep better than those who feel aimless or unfulfilled. Existential distress keeps the mind churning at night. Purposeful living creates the kind of satisfying tiredness that welcomes rest. Deep sleep grows from deep living. Connection to others provides a sense of safety that supports sleep. Loneliness and social isolation correlate with fragmented sleep and reduced deep sleep percentage. Humans are fundamentally social creatures. We evolved sleeping in groups, protected by community. Modern individualism and isolation create a nervous system state of heightened vulnerability. Relationships, community, belonging. These aren't luxuries. They're biological necessities that enable rest. Nature exposure during the day improves nighttime sleep through multiple pathways. Circadian rhythm entrainment from natural light, stress reduction, physical activity, air quality, and perhaps something more subtle and unmeasurable. Hospital patients with windows facing nature heal faster. Forest bathing reduces cortisol. Natural settings restore attention and calm nervous systems. We are nature, and proximity to it reminds us of this truth. Screens before bed are problematic, not just for blue light, but for the anxiety-provoking content we consume. News catastrophes, social comparison, work emails, political arguments. Content stimulates emotional and cognitive systems that need quiet to sleep. The device is the delivery mechanism, but the message is the problem. Gentler evening inputs, books, music, conversation, stillness. Prepare your mind for rest. Temperature regulation during sleep is easier when you sleep naked or in light. Breathable fabrics. Heavy pajamas trap heat and prevent the core temperature drop needed for deep sleep. Wool or moisture-wicking materials help if you need some coverage. Socks can help cold feet that prevent sleep onset by warming extremities and promoting core heat loss. Small adjustments in sleep attire can affect sleep depth. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary, not a storage room or office. Visual clutter creates subtle cognitive load even when you're not consciously noticing it. A clean, minimalist sleep space signals to your brain that this place is for rest, not for the mental demands of daily life. Environment shapes psychology, which shapes physiology, which shapes sleep architecture. Hunger and fullness both disrupt sleep. The optimal state is gentle satiation. A small protein and complex carbohydrate snack an hour before bed can stabilize blood sugar through the night without creating digestive burden. Some research suggests foods high in tryptophan, magnesium, or melatonin may support sleep. Though effects are modest, listen to your body's signals rather than rigid rules. So yes, barriers can stop your body from entering deep sleep. They can, and they do. But understanding these barriers transforms them from mysterious, frustrating obstacles into addressable, solvable problems. Each barrier you identify is an opportunity for change. Each change improves the conditions for restoration. Knowledge creates power, especially, over something as seemingly uncontrollable as sleep. What you stop resisting begins to shift. The real barrier might not be any specific environmental or biochemical factor. It might be the belief that you can't sleep, that you're somehow broken or defective. This belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, creating anxiety that prevents the very rest you seek. Reframing sleep problems as circadian misalignment, insufficient sleep drive, or environmental barriers, things you can address, removes the judgment and opens possibilities. You're not failing at sleep. You're navigating a complex biological system in a challenging modern environment. Sleep is never truly lost. Missed deep sleep on one night increases sleep pressure for the next night, making deeper sleep more likely if you allow it. Your body maintains homeostatic balance, compensating for deficits when given the opportunity. Chronic sleep deprivation is harmful, but occasional poor nights don't create lasting damage if you return to healthy patterns. One bad night doesn't doom you. Recovery is always possible. Your biology is resilient, forgiving, designed to adapt. Sometimes acceptance transforms everything. Accepting that tonight might be restless, that your mind is active, that sleep will come when it's ready. This acceptance itself becomes a form of rest. When you stop judging your wakefulness, stop calculating remaining hours, simply allowing the night to unfold, your nervous system often responds by finally relaxing. What you stop resisting begins to shift. The acceptance itself reduces arousal. Letting go of outcome creates space for the outcome you want. Every person's sleep barriers are unique. What disrupts your sleep might not affect someone else at all. Comparing your sleep to others creates unnecessary frustration. Your genetics, history, current circumstances, stressors, health conditions, medications, relationships, all of these create a completely individual sleep landscape. Cookie-cutter solutions rarely work. Personalized approaches that honor your unique biology and life situation work better. You are not everyone. You are you. The journey toward better deep sleep is exactly that. A journey, not a destination. There's no point at which you fix your sleep forever and never have to think about it again. Life changes. Seasons change. Stress waxes and wanes. Health shifts. Relationships evolve. Your sleep needs and barriers will continue changing throughout your life. Flexibility and ongoing attention matter more than perfect permanent solutions. What stops your body from entering deep sleep? Many things. All interconnected, but also nothing that can't be addressed, understood, or worked with. The barriers are real, but not insurmountable. They're challenges, not permanent conditions. And in understanding them, you've already begun dissolving them. Knowledge is the first step. Acceptance is the second. Action is the third. You're already on the path. Deep sleep is your birthright, not a privilege or luxury. Every human being deserves restorative rest. If you're struggling to achieve it, that's not a personal failure. It's a signal that some aspect of your life needs attention. Maybe it's your environment, your schedule, your stress levels, your relationships, your health. Listen to what your sleep is telling you about your life. Insomnia is often information. Perhaps the deepest barrier to sleep is simply not believing you deserve rest. Productivity culture teaches that rest is earned through exhaustion, that you must be useful to be worthy. That stillness is laziness. These lies create guilt around rest that prevents true restoration. You deserve rest simply because you exist, because you're alive, because your body and mind require it to function. Permission to rest is yours to give. What if deep sleep isn't about doing anything at all? What if it's about stopping? Stopping trying. stopping worrying, stopping controlling, stopping everything. What if sleep is the practice of profound trust, of surrendering to the unknown, of becoming vulnerable and undefended? Perhaps that's why it's so difficult in our modern world. We've forgotten how to stop, how to trust, how to let go completely. The barriers that stop your body from entering deep sleep are many, but they all share one quality. They keep you in a state of doing rather than being, controlling rather than allowing, resisting rather than accepting. In a sense, deep sleep asks for surrender. It asks you to trust the darkness, trust your body, trust that you'll wake again. It asks for the hardest thing, letting go. And so, our quiet journey through the landscape of sleep barriers comes to a gentle close. We've traveled from the molecular dance of adenosine and melatonin to the simple truth of darkness and stillness, discovering along the way that what prevents deep sleep is rarely one thing. It's a constellation of modern life patterns pulling us away from ancient biological rhythms. From the blue glow of screens to the racing thoughts that won't quiet. From temperature and timing to trust and surrender. We've glimpsed how barriers to deep sleep are often barriers to rest itself, to safety, to letting go of the day's demands and tomorrow's worries. Sleep reminds us that control has limits, that our bodies know things our minds have forgotten. Much of the deepest healing happens in surrender, in the hours when we stop trying and simply allow restoration to unfold in darkness, without release from wakefulness, without permission to be vulnerable and unconscious. We cannot renew ourselves. By understanding what prevents this sacred rest, we glimpse what it means to be human, creatures who must regularly surrender completely to continue living fully. In these final minutes, take the deepest breath you can, as deep as possible. Think about unity, about how every barrier to sleep is also a teacher showing you what needs attention in your life. Your restlessness has information. Your wakefulness has meaning. Even your exhaustion is trying to tell you something. You are not separate from your sleep, not fighting against it. You and your sleep are one system, one organism seeking balance. Think about consciousness itself. Yours, mine, everyone listening, all awareness, everywhere, perhaps all connected in ways we don't yet understand. You are not alone in the darkness. Let your entire being dissolve into the ocean of rest, into the space before thought, into the gentle gravity pulling you into sleep. Prepare for deep restoration. No boundaries left. Only peace. Only permission. Only this breath. And this one. And this. This gentle journey through sleep science might help someone else searching for better nights. Sharing softly could guide another restless mind to this peaceful space. One quiet tap, one sleepy soul at a time. But there's no need to do anything now. Nothing at all. You've traveled far tonight, through neuroscience and circadian rhythms, through barriers and solutions, through understanding toward acceptance. You can allow these thoughts of sleep science to fade now, like morning mist dissolving in sunlight, leaving only the gentle calm behind. Let your breathing deepen. Let your body feel heavier, as if gravity itself is holding you more tenderly, more completely. If sleep comes now, let it carry you like a slow river flowing to the sea, smoothly, inevitably, into a realm where barriers don't exist, where deep restoration happens without effort, without thought, without anything except surrender. If your eyes are still open, the next video is waiting for you, ready to continue this quiet journey. But if they're closed, stay there. Stay in the darkness that feels safe and warm and infinitely patient. Tomorrow, sleep barriers will still exist. Yes, modern life will still challenge your ancient biology. But tonight, you understand a little more. Tonight, you know what to look for, what to change, what to let go of. Rest well, peaceful soul, and remember, sleep is not performance. It's permission. Permission to stop, to trust, to let the day end and restoration begin. Fall asleep to gentle facts, where science meets sleep. Dream deeper with bedtime science. Relax, listen, and drift into sleep. Good night.